Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check waifu. Ma, tell them. Is that you?
3, 2, 1.
This is episode 321 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast, where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, the after stories, where you can get access to the pre-show, which goes live 2 days before this episode goes live. It's also where you get access to a whole bunch of other content. Shout out to the Patreon producers. Without you, we couldn't do this show too. Explicitly, I tried to keep it going, but it didn't work. Explicitly, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast. Check out Chaotic Culture Podcast. Fear, Semi Sensei, Frozen. Welcome back to Money Fingers. Dad Needs to Talk Podcast. Check out Dad Needs to Talk Podcast. Death Scythe, aka Christian Archivist. All for One Matt, Rob Stone, and last but certainly not least, our guy, Matthew H. Thank you so much for producing this and many episodes of the podcast. We truly couldn't do it without you.
You.
Mic Check Waifu is the anime podcast that brings you seasonal topics and conversation on seasonal anime every week, every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CT. We have a fun-filled week with you this week because the fall season is officially underway. It started. I think the only thing that we're missing, according to my anime list, is about 4 shows that's not released. Actually, make that five. Sorry. 5 shows on my list that's not released. But everything else, there's a lot that we're going to discuss today. What we're going to do and the way we're going to discuss it is that we're going to discuss the episode 1s of these new shows that released this fall season and in sparse spoilery territory. We're obviously going to leave out any major spoilers for certain shows, but we're going to talk about it in detail. And if you find a show interesting from our discussion, add it to your list and go from there. So as we start off every episode of Mic Check Waifu, though, Tell, what is your episode of the week this week?
Now, I actually struggled with this one.
Yeah, it was tough. Sorry.
And it was tough because one episode kind of was unfair because it was 2 episodes technically, and it was very enjoyable. It was a very enjoyable 2 episodes. We're going to talk about that later. And then the other one just really, I knew it was going to be silly, but it was kind of the best kind of silly. And I'm not going to lie to you, brother. I hate to do this to you because I know you're not going to watch it. Not even close. What is it called? Where is it at? It is the Kamen Rider one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one that's in...
Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I'm not going
to... It was actually very... It subverted my expectations, but in a way that, like, it kind of did exactly what I thought it was going to do, but exceeded all of what I expected it to be in that regard, if that makes sense. I think it's going to be a great first episode. I'm not sure how long I'm going to actually enjoy it, though, if I'm being completely honest. But the first episode was good. They did a good job of establishing themselves.
There's about 3 in a possible that I could pick for an episode of the week this week. So many good shows this season. And I'm going to talk about that in detail a little bit later. But my episode of the week is going to be, may I ask for one final thing. It was 2 episodes that released for this one. This show was fucking phenomenal.
Man.
And did you watch it dubbed?
Yeah. I did it.
Oh my God. That dub voice actress she delivered, bro. I mean, absolutely delivered, because the lines that's in that show is hilarious. And the way she delivered it was so like just fun and spunky in a way that I feel like it was necessary for her to deliver it this way. It was just great. I mean, it was like the dub is perfect. It's like perfection when it comes to dub.
Okay. Can we go right into that show then, since we already talking about it?
I did want to, but go ahead. Yeah, we might as well.
I love her and the other Prince brother, the older Prince brother.
Bruh. Yeah.
Like as soon as we got like a little bit of her backstory and stuff, I'm like, oh, this my girl of the season. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, yo, she is cooking. And I was willing to give that episode a week just because I was like, these characters are really good. And they have a good like dichotomy, a good energy that they bounce off of each other. They're written well in comparison.
I'm telling you,
I'm just like,
next week, turn on the dub. Just listen to.
I might turn on the dub as soon as we done, just because I enjoyed those episodes, bro. It was crazy.
Her delivery was spectacular, bro, and it was so punchy, pun intended. Her delivery was so punchy that it made me laugh out loud, for real, laugh out loud, because it was just that I don't even know who it is that is doing this dub, but she's spectacular. I obviously heard her voice in multiple different things before, but she is talented, this voice actress.
And I imagine the dub was amazing because it was all the little side comments and stuff.
Oh, so good.
Like the little snarky remarks and stuff. I'm like laughing. Yeah. It's like, yo, this is good. I need to watch the dub. You're right.
It's legitimately like one of the best dubs I think I've ever heard because it's so funny.
That's crazy.
It's so good.
I didn't even look for a dub. I turned it on and I was like locked in immediately. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it's spectacular. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair.
Yeah. That's why this week it was easily my favorite episode of the week. Not easily because, again, like I said, it could be 4 different episodes. But before I wanted to get into the new stuff, we're going to talk with even more detail about May I Ask for One Final Thing a little bit later. But before I wanted to get into detail stuff, I wanted to talk about episode 2 of A While Last Boss Appeared. And you know what I was thinking? I had this thought in my head, and I should have written it down so I could have said it exactly how I thought about it as soon as I thought about it. But this show is as we call it for me personally, it's mad decent. It's not spectacular in my personal opinion, but it's not terrible either. It's a show I definitely would want to watch, and a show I can recommend. And the reason why I can recommend it is because this is one of those ones where, all right, let me make sure I remember how I said this, because when I was thinking it, I said it. How did I say it here? I think I said something of the sort in Discord. I'm just going to it just to see if I can jog my memory. Oh, people gonna eat this one up. It's mad decent though. Okay. So what I think about it is this is one of them shows, and hear me out, Till. You know when you're scrolling on TikTok and you got these fucking anime creators and they're always talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. They're always talking about Dragon Ball Z. They're always talking about Hunter x Hunter. They're always talking about those main shows and nothing else really. Okay. You know those creators? This is the kind of show that one of those creators will pick up and just be like, oh, this is a gem that I found, and be ecstatic about finding this show being as good as it's, again, remind you, it is very good to me. It's not spectacular, but it's very good to me. Hence the mad decent. But they're going to take it and be like, this show is incredible. This is a secret gem that I found, and they want to share it with everybody. Like, it's their finding, and it's going to be thrusted in those influencers' zeitgeist over and over and over and over again. It's going to be repeated. There's going to be clips of people just using the clips from that show or some of the action clips that happen, because it's very flashy. It's going to be very flashy. So they're going to be posting different little montage videos of it on TikTok and everywhere else that you get these anime conversations. But that's what I mean when I say people are going to eat this up. Because of that, I just know how this is going to play because I've been in the game for so long now that I can kind of find that thing that people will gravitate towards, and this is definitely going to be one of them. People are going to feel like they found the gem with this one, and it was one of them better power fantasies. It's not Overlord. It's very much inspired by, you can tell, because with the whole slight spoilers for episode 2, but what I like and don't like is that it's kind of doing what the Overlord thing does, but what Overlord does so well is that it doesn't make it as obvious as this does. And that's with the memory manipulation or the memory combining of the character and like the character that they isekai'd into. For instance, Ainz, slight spoilers for Overlord, but Ainz, the difference between him is he starts to lose his humanity slowly but surely over the course of the series. You don't know that it's obvious. It just happens by just a flash of his eyes when it happens. You don't know why that's happening. You don't know what that is, what it could be. But when you notice it, you kind of put the two and two together, and you kind of meld those two together and understand like, oh, he's starting to lose his humanity side, his human side, and becoming the overlord. In this one, it's all, oh, memories aren't mine again. It's like obviously pointed out to you and all this other shit. It'd be cooler if they just flashed it and it just happened. You know what I mean? And we don't know why it's happening, and we are set to discover it. But it's more of that show that's trying to capture the audience that I just talked about. That audience that are only the One Piecers and the Hunter Hunters and the Bleaches and the Narutos and the JJKs and the people that only talk about that stuff over and over and over again. That's what I feel like this show is.
I'm gonna just say this, because now that I had to go back, and I'm gonna say this first before I even say this part. I had no idea what happened this week in this episode just a minute ago. This episode, it was forgettable.
It was pretty good though.
It was good. Now that I turned on, I hit Crunchyroll from AniList and just went and scanned through. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that happened. There were so many other things that I enjoyed this week.
Yeah.
That this was not like I didn't even think about this one being my episode of the week. Not to say it was bad or anything. Not even necessarily, because it's not that I even necessarily agree with Polo, but I do. I do. But it's more of the fact that I think that it will be amazing for some people. You know what I mean? Some people are going to see this, and I when I was looking at Polo's comment about some people are going to eat this up, I'm like, oh, he's just being Polo. He's just doing his Polo thing. I'm telling you. I watched the episode and I was like, okay, it was cool.
It was fine.
And I see exactly what he means. And I'm gonna tell you a thing that I specifically hated about this episode that Overlord does extremely well, and it was like they're going to the new town, and there's the sparkles all over the place. And why do you have to ask what the sparkles are? Yeah. As someone who's the top level of this game, you spent 1,000. You got level 1,000. You know what your character's weaknesses are. You know what your character's strengths are, and this is completely new and unheard of for you. Was kind of wild. It would be different if they established this as something that's specifically new to this world since 200 years have passed, but it's not. Right.
And that's just their way of getting, they're holding that, they're putting on those training wheels for those people that I mentioned. That's going to need that context so they understand it a little bit clearer instead of what Overlord does and just letting it happen.
But they could have done something different, you know what I mean? And I'm only saying that because it's like, imagine how kind of better it would have been had there's no one else around, had she pulled out her cloak and flapped her wings to blow the mana away and say, my kind don't bode well within mana rich areas, etc. Just do something that makes it more befitting to a character of that stature, rather than just walking through it like nothing happened and then saying, oh, what's this? That doesn't make sense. You're a level 1,000 character who played this game for far too much time. It doesn't make sense. So I thought it was a good episode still.
Yeah, it was.
There were some things that lost me, and I'm like, just descriptive factors can be better, or not better. I'm not gonna say descriptive factor because it was descriptive, right?
Yeah, very.
But I think that it takes me out of the. I'm not as not involved, but I'm not as immersed when they do that.
That's exactly my point.
It takes me out of the immersion. So it felt like you lost me a little bit just with, and I know it's such a petty thing. I know it's petty, but it was significant to me because as soon as they said that, I was like, I'm out of it.
Yeah.
And it was that specific part, and that was early on. I was like, that's not real. Why would you do that? That makes no sense.
It's the over explanation of things that doesn't need to be explained. That becomes what brings you out of the show.
But when great show.
Yeah, it is a good show. Great. It's good. But I say all that to say that all they're doing is just setting up that piece that's going to be what next week is. And that what next week is, and by the time you're hearing this, you may have already seen it. But what next week is going to be a fight between the Aries and her, and she's going to fucking demolish it in a cool, flashy manner. And people are going to fucking explode over it. People are going to be like, yo, y'all ain't watching this show. Y'all ain't. y'all ain't hip to this show. Y'all are blah blah blah. Blah. You know how that goes. Y'all got to get hip to this. Like they're just
I'm willing to bet they do the opposite though.
What you mean?
That there's not going to be a fight. I'm willing to bet money it's not going to be a fight. Not between her and Aries.
Oh no, I put it. I could bet a lot on it. It's exactly what it's going to be.
Okay.
I believe it's going to be extreme. That, and it's going to be over in a flash, and then she's going to have that conversation with the guy in the castle, and he's going to be all like, "I need your help." It's going to be more of the same. But again, I don't think this is going to be anywhere close to what Overlord is. But I think it's cute that they're trying. Easily influenced.
Now, great show, but good show in terms of Polo. Now, what was another one that made a return this week before we get to the heavy hitter?
The new stuff. Dusk Beyond the End of the World, episode 2.
No, let's not do that one yet.
Why?
It's too good.
Yeah. No, that one.
We can do that one.
That one, for one, okay, so this is how it was. This is technically last week was episode 0, and this week is episode 1. But when I tell you this had me from minute 1, the amount of intrigue that was fucking here watching this show, I'm like, okay, what is happening? And that, again, they didn't over-explain. They just explained what they needed to. And we're learning of the world, and it's brilliant. And then something happens. He meets someone, and it just gets even cooler out of fucking. I mean, they went A1 Pictures type of Fate Stay animation out of fucking nowhere, and it blew me back because I'm like, what the hell? Why did they get all these pretty colors and particle effects and fucking fluid movement and motion? I'm like, God damn, what is happening here?
I think the animation was already really good to begin with, right? And I say that because in episode 1, they established a high dynamic range in terms of color. In that slice of life feel though,
sure,
it had a softer look to it. You wouldn't expect this kind of hard edge look in this episode that they kind of presented.
The colors they presented this time though was blowing the bit rate back on High Dive. High Dive couldn't keep up. It was like fucking watching.
And I was like, I can't believe High Dive even got a bag for this.
It's crazy.
I was watching this episode and I'm like, hear me out. Extremely predictable episode. But I was in love with everything that happened, right? And when I say extremely predictable, predictable does not mean that it's not well written. It does not mean that it's not well organized or it's delivered well. But this episode, it hit so many points that I was just like, yes. Now I'm at a point in my head where I don't know where to go next. I think this is a great first episode, technically a second episode, but they did episode 0, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think this is a great establishment, you know what I mean? Where we're going to go next and how we're going to get there. I feel like for the next beginning of this, my brain can be off and I'm not going to know what's going to happen. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride. But I love how they did this episode. I love how it was delivered. I love how it was depicted, and I love how it ended. It hit every threshold I needed for this to be a 10 out of 10 episode, high key. Maybe worst case scenario 9.5, but it was like a 10 out of 10 episode for me. It was great.
Yeah, I find it to be extremely almost a perfect episode for a show that is doing something new and unique. I don't know where Tel could say what he could say about it being predictable, but that nothing there was predictable in my opinion. I feel like it was so refreshing, the episode, because again, you got somebody coming from what was the future in our timeline in the 2028s and 2029s and the 2030s to a even further future, which we don't know nothing about yet, that regressed into primitive tribal times, and it basically starting civilization anew on the other side while there's still a piece of civilization, i.e. I forget what they call the military people that pulled up on them, but it's these random military people that pulled up trying to collect these relics or whatever. I guess the predictable part was that somebody was going to tell about the quote unquote relic. That was the only piece that you could see was, obviously somebody was going to be a douche because it wouldn't be an episode if it wasn't something like that. But the rest of it was it was phenomenal as far as like just pacing and the development of the episode. All this is technically, if you want to call it episode 1, it was just brilliant as far as establishing and grabbing you when it comes to the intrigue on a whole other scale when it comes to like what this show is, because we don't have, again, what Tail said, we don't have any idea where this is going next. And that is what the most intriguing part about it is. It's wonderful. Yeah.
After this episode, there's no context that I have, but it was borderline perfection. It was so close. It was so close to crazy that it was insane.
Very much so. And then the other one that continued the episode 2 was Hero Without a Class Who Even Needs a Skill. Now we talked about this, and I think everybody that's watching this with us feel the exact same way. This shit is so mediocre, it hurts. But if this show had a budget, and hear me out, so you're gonna hate what I'm about to say, but if this had a budget, I think it could make it with shows like Chivalry and Asterisk War and Infinite Stratos. If it had a budget, because the only thing that's missing is that it's the motion is so bad, especially when it comes to anything else. Everything else that we're watching this season, it stands out in this season full of brilliant shows when you think about it, Till, I don't think there's no other low quality animated show out.
There's one, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay, I would love to hear that because I need to hear that because I can't think of one right now off the top of my head. But this one it's just there. But I love the main character. I love the characters around him so far. Mm-hmm. But it just needs some fucking money.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I feel like if they did have the budget, the things would even happen faster. You know what I mean? And the pacing could be better because they don't have to exaggerate things with when you got that low budget, you got to kind of stretch it out to sell it.
Yep. That explains.
Whereas they could cut frames even to sell it a little bit too to kind of get there, but it's like some of it just doesn't. It's not doing its best job with the budget it does have. But it might be. We don't know.
I just want to mention. Sorry to interrupt you. It's Studio A Cat. No wonder why. It's the same. Okay. It's the beginning after the end. It's Strong as a Magician. It's okay. It makes sense. Yeah. It's all these shows that just look terrible. So that explains it.
But it does have some elements in it that make you like root for it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But because I'm not gonna lie, I think that, and I'll say this with like my love for Chivalry of a Failed Knight, right? With a budget, the only thing that would have really made Chivalry of a Failed Knight better was extending it. You know what I mean? Getting to a season 2. If you gave this a budget, you know what I mean? And I mean, yes, you can make Chivalry of a Failed Knight look better. That's not to take.
It looked great. That's what makes Chivalry of a Failed Knight great, is that it looks good.
Yeah, but here you would need to invest that budget into making this look and feel better in general.
Yeah,
and allowing those characters to shine a little bit more, because I actually feel like we didn't even need some of these fight scenes we had. We could have literally just looked at these characters and let them talk a little bit more. And I'd be like, you know what? We're past this episode. Let's get to something else.
It was so stiff.
They could have saved the animation budget.
For sure. It was rather unnecessary. But that being true, I still think it's a good show. And again, it's a show, a Polo and Tola show that I would not recommend. I cannot recommend this show to anybody else.
It's definitely still getting watched.
But it's definitely still getting watched by us, because that's just what we do. We watch some of the filth, and we shouldn't, because we shouldn't give play to those that aren't worthy, because of they're going to continue to make this slop if we do and continue to talk about it like we are. But it's just what we do. We can't lie.
We're here for it.
Yeah, we can't lie about it. We are entertained by slop too. It's like
Facts.
It's like turning on reality TV sometime. I don't do that, but this is.
I hate reality TV. What are you talking about?
Me too. I equate this to that, essentially.
I was gonna say, I'm not turning that on, not for free.
Exactly. All right. Now to the new stuff. Tell, where do you want to start with the new stuff?
Let's see here. Where we at? Do you want to talk about our sleepers? What was your sleeper pick?
Yeah, we could talk about our sleepers. My sleeper pick was A Star Brighter Than the Sun.
Can I talk about that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love those characters.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this one is the sleeper. It's on Amazon Prime, but if you are in our Discord, there is a link to watch it where you have to hop on a boat and sail the seas, find the One Piece. But there is a link there if you don't have Amazon Prime or if you don't want to use Amazon Prime. But A Star Brighter Than the Sun is very just charming so far.
I am ensnared.
Yeah.
I am ensnared, bro. I've been caught in a trap.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of the like flourish they did when they would look at each other. I was like, oh my God.
It's just, and it feels natural, you know?
Yeah, bro. I love it. I was warmed.
Me too.
How else can I say? I was charmed, ensnared, warmed.
Yeah.
I feel I love this.
Yeah.
Already.
Me too.
Very well established in the beginning. They gave us some history, context, background.
Oh, and it was so well done. Narrated.
Built it up. Right. They built it up to the present day and then to the future. We got a little mini time skip and everything.
Yeah.
I love how this was presented, bro. And then there's like, while there was a kind of confessionary moment, there wasn't. So there's still like room for development and growth. Phenomenal. This was one of those ones that was on that list that I would have probably said was my episode of the week.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed this one. It's hard to say I didn't.
Same. Yeah, this one just offered something again that what it feels is it feels paced properly. And what I also would say as a slice of life, it just feels more unique. It just feels unique because of the story being, it's not a bumbling guy or a bumbling girl. I mean, she is kind of bumbling, but in a cute way. But it's a different kind of take on the story that I enjoy. It's fun, man. It's fun. I just love everybody in it so far, and I'm looking forward to it more and more and more. I just hate. I do hate though when the female protagonists get so into their head. When she thinks people are making fun of her for being bigger. I talk about this last season too, but I just don't like that stuff. It frustrates me.
I will say the only thing that scared me was a little bit of mess they dropped in at the end. It was like that little drop. It was like boop. Yep. It was like don't worry, boop. I was like no.
Yeah, it was a little teabag dip of a mess.
You could have gave me at least one more episode.
Yeah. But
I still feel that I'm just gonna be completely in love with this show. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like I could write it out myself though. As how this trajectory is gonna go. And
yeah.
It's pretty obvious. It's like this is talk about predictable. I think this is gonna be one of the predictable ones, but in a way that's different, told different, and with just great characters.
I mean, and hear me out when I say this. I can be 100% honest when I don't know what's happening next. I don't know what's happening next for this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For me, like, I would have to see the first 25 seconds of the episode, and then I could probably say, okay, I can kind of predict what's going to happen.
Well, that's obvious. I mean, anybody could in 25 seconds.
But I can't. I'm talking about for the whole episode. But
okay. You could.
I have no idea. I know they're going to establish themselves in the school. But my gut check for this, I don't have one. I don't know. I'm worried, but I'm ready to see them spend time together. Yeah.
It's a situation to where and I'm gonna write it out. This is my gut check. I don't know this to be true, but watch when I tell you this is going to be. I am 75% sure that this is probably exactly how this is gonna go. This is a situation where they both like each other. Where they both can't tell each other, where they both feel like one thing is wrong with like who they are. Who they are is stopping, is forcing them, or something that happened between them is forcing them to hold back what they want to say to each other for virtually the entire season. But they both like each other. And there's going to be somebody that interferes, but that steps into both sides of their life, i.e. the little drop of a mess we got for him. And then there's going to be another male character that's going to pop in for her. That's going to be in the way of for him. So it's just, that's exactly how I feel this is going to go. And I'm 75% sure that's right.
What I actually hope, deviation from what you're saying, is that the little drop of mess that was dropped in actually isn't a mess. And what they do instead is see, oh, they love each other.
I would love that too.
Let's try and get them together. I would be like, oh, thank you. Don't mess it up. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind mess. But the show was so warming and endearing that I was like, yeah, I'm with it. I love this.
I'm with you. I am with you 100%. All right. Your sleeper, the one you forcing me to watch that I will drop if it's not what I expect. This monster wants to eat me.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first, brother. And then I'll tell you exactly what I was thinking.
This one it made it to the second episode. I watched the first episode and I was able to make it to the second. I do feel like it's going to be not a good horror show, and I don't think it's meant to be. Even though horror is in there and it has that in there, I think this is going to be a more psychological coming of age story that is more prominent of like what's that, Taco Pete kind of story thing. You know what I mean? Not as dark as that one. Let me or bad for that matter.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be, I'm just saying it's going to be leaning more towards the psychological piece of it than the actual horror piece of it. While they do have, the monster part in it. But I just don't, again, I don't find this kind of show interesting to me because it's just not like Yuri, and then Yuri horror at that. Mm-hmm. It's just not for me at all with the utmost respect, because I hate, first off, Polo don't do scary. Okay. That's one. And this is
not going to be scary
at all. Like not even fucking close. But because of that, it's going to be mostly leaning towards the Yuri. And I'm just not that interested in that type of story. So far though, what's keeping me and what is taking me to episode 2 is that psychological piece of her mental state and how she handles it or overcome it, hopefully, or doesn't. And that's the part that's keeping me here. And I'm just praying that she can overcome this mental, psychological aspect of whatever is fucking with her life.
So the Taco P original sin is a little bit more off than I was like putting it, right? Where I was thinking more of like closer to Inspector, but with more of a like loving relationship, slice of life kind of feel.
Not even close.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Inspector, there was the girl with the eye and the missing leg and stuff. Sure. And then, you know what I mean? I'm thinking and I didn't have any idea actually what it was going to be going into it. I just kind of went in blind. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I was talking about anime that have low quality this season, this is the other one I was talking about. This was, half of it was a slideshow. I don't know if you recall that.
It's quite literally a slideshow.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that in my anime. Anime is short for animation.
I think there's a point though. There's supposed to be a psychological piece to that.
Yeah, to seeing still shots. Uh-huh. Yeah. Give me a Rorschach if you're gonna give me a slideshow. I was very displeased with that, and I know that's it's a petty thing, and it might not last forever. But it literally grinded my gears.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I was willing. I was borderline. Like if I saw, like I was in my head, I'm literally thinking if I see one more slideshow, I'm hitting the antagonist button this week. But I will say I am very intrigued, and I know that I think that the psychological aspect is going to come from her learning to enjoy and value life, right? That's what it's going to be, is her seeing what all the beauty of life and what it is to be.
And there's people around her that care.
Right. And that's what this mermaid-esque character is going to view as delicious and intervene with what's happening and going on around her. But I don't know, maybe and maybe she starts to appreciate that, but I don't know if it's going to be that. Is Yuri romance? Is that like a girl romance? Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to be that. Is that what it's labeled under? Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess I don't know if it was going to be that. I definitely can see it going that route, but I'm still hoping that it's more about just the environment and her learning to love the things and people around her, and then she get eaten up, and that'd be the end of it. That'd
be cooler.
Don't. Yeah, I still need the ending with her being gone, because that's what we started with.
Yeah, no, honestly, it'd be cool. Well, it won't be cooler because I don't like to see anybody going through that type of psychological distress and not overcome it.
It's a monster. The monster want her to overcome the psychological stress so she can eat her.
She can taste better. Yeah, but that's predictable. Moving on to something that I absolutely. Moving on to something that I absolutely loved. And I'm gonna just go right to it. It's our review show this season. At the end of the season, my gift level 9,999 unlimited gacha backstabbed in the backwater dungeon, and I'm out for revenge. Bro, don't let this title stop you from watching this show. Watch this fucking show. Pleasantly surprised, and I think I speak for everybody in our Discord and everybody that watched it. The same thing. Pleasantly surprised. Again, this is one of the ones that looked great animation wise. Who the hell is the studio? Because they popped. Oh, JC Staff. Okay, so I'm actually not that surprised because JC Staff do actual quality work. And this is definitely one of them. It looked beautiful when it came to everything in it. And then the story. Yes, this is a revenge tale. Yes, this is somebody getting kicked out of a party. But because of the main character's unique power is what makes it more interesting. And then the fact that the main character was so, again, tagline for this episode, I guess, is endearing, so likable, like from moment one when you started the episode, that it's hard not to root for him more than any other I want to get my revenge kind of story that's been going on for the last 2.5 seasons. Like this is the trend now. You know how Isekai be the trend sometimes. There's a bunch of different shit. The getting kicked out of the main party, I need revenge trend has been going on for about a year now. And this one of them, I'm gonna honestly say this has been the best so far. Only one episode in. And I mean that because I care more about this character than I care about anybody else that we've watched in the past with this particular trope.
I want him to get it back in blood.
And fucking blood, Tell.
I want him to get it back in blood. Ugh. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I thought at the end of this episode, I was like, he's gonna be like, I don't need revenge. I'm gonna go out on my regular. Nah, I need him to get it back in blood. And I feel like he said, you know what? I can't have you do that for me. I gotta do it myself.
And like, that's what I'm talking about. He's so endearing, man.
Oh, but it's like they did this job. And hear me out. I didn't trust them from the beginning. I didn't trust them from the jump. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But I'm gonna tell you what. I didn't trust them from the jump either because of what the society they built. Really good, by the way. Naturally built. Right. Didn't over contextualize it for us. Naturally built it up for us. But I will say this. The performance they gave, I didn't believe him. I didn't trust him. The performance they gave made me believe that he would believe that they were being genuine.
It made me want to say, okay, maybe he found a good group and he's gonna level up with them. I'm like, finally, you know what I mean? At least things are gonna be good for a little bit. The backstabbing is crazy. Like I said, once again, I need it back in blood, and I need it for myself. If I gotta go get it, I will also join the Crystal Child Protection Agency, showing the children's light to make sure that he get it back if he got to.
Absolutely,
because he's only a kid for real. How old is he? He was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, something like that. Where he was literally from the moment one, he started off setting out to provide for his family. He literally said, I'm just doing this to provide for my sister and my mother. And that was like that alone had me already. I'm like, this guy's great. And he's
great.
He's getting pushed around in the city and people are talking shit and he's not letting it bother him. And he goes to the guild and the guild tells him this and they talk about his skill and his skill is not great, but he's still willing to work and he worked extremely hard and he gets robbed. And it was just, all of it was just so, I want to root for this motherfucker.
100%.
1000%, bro.
I'm trying to jump in.
9,999%.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? It was really fucking good at fucking that. Don't let this title stop you from watching the show. It really is a great episode.
Yes.
God, it was so good.
That ending. Yes. I'll take it.
Yes.
I'll take it.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the whole gacha part of it even is working.
Same, because we didn't even get to see the ending. For real, we saw the ending, but we didn't get to see the ending. So I want to see.
Yep. Wonderful. Well done, man.
I'm glad you liked it like I did, because I wasn't sure you were, but I was like, nah, I gotta get it. I was hurt.
It was truly captivating.
Can I say one that I like?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but I'm also hoping for great things from this one. Mechanical Marie, did you watch that one?
I did.
I am hoping for great things. And I could see it not being that. I could see it dropping the ball. But man, do I want to see it be great. Yeah. It's like, it has wings, like little fledgling baby wings,
Absolutely.
bro.
Absolutely.
Just use them, develop them, grow, get strong, and do everything that I know you can do. Because I feel like it has this premise where it's like, yes, and I'm just gonna obviously slight kind of like spoilers, but this is the first episode, so go ahead. She has that cold emotional state, so people treat her like that, but she knows what she's feeling, and she has these feelings, and I want to see that develop into where people realize that she's more than just that cold emotionless state, that she really has something behind those eyes. She has something behind that face that is so much more than you may even know. Yeah. And I'm just, I want it to be great, man. Oh, man.
Yeah. I feel the same way you do. However, I'm gonna let my third eye I just feel like my third eye is telling me like this is going to end up being one that gets very tiring quickly.
Because it's not gonna do what it needs to do.
It's not gonna do what it needs to do. It's gonna keep those fledgling wings. Okay. Actually, one of them was probably gonna be clipped because it's going to continue to trope around the fact that she's not a robot and she's trying to keep it a secret from him. So in order to stay in his, I guess, good graces, because he doesn't want to be around any human people. Hopefully he learns to appreciate the humanity of her, and then it becomes something more than that. And it probably will towards the end, but I got a feeling the journey to get there is going to be so cumbersome that I'm not going to want to watch anymore.
That's how I feel, and I don't want it to happen, bro.
Me either, man.
This first episode has so many embers of like greatness, man.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not as good as like what was the one we watched, Assassin Maid, with the assassin that was the maid, and she.
Oh yeah, that one was fucking incredible.
It doesn't have that same kind of like ember there. But I could see, like, if they give these characters time to actually be upfront with how things are going and feeling, that warmth could be there. Yeah. And I hope that they write it like that.
Me too.
I haven't read it, obviously, and if you have read it, please don't spoil it, because I'm gonna try and watch this one all the way through. I want great things.
Me too. You could this one has like it's writing on the wall.
It does. I see it. I see it, bro. It's like plain as day. I just don't want it.
Yeah. Me either. So before there was I asked for one final thing. There was my favorite female character was past the monster beat Milady. This one, I absolutely love everybody in this one too. This is another show with strong, very strong, wonderful characters right off the jump. From moment one to the end, you're in love with everybody that you meet so far, except for obviously the people around her who's hating. But again, this title, Past the Monster Meet Milady, will probably steer a lot of people away from it. But the way it's, again, artistically, the way it's drawn, the animation, just character design, top fucking tier, bro. It is.
It did.
And then the story, the writing so far has been phenomenal. And it's not even like it doesn't seem to have gone the route, and this is just me projecting a little bit, but it seems to not be going the route of where it takes forever for these two to establish a relationship together. It's starting off right off the jump, and they're just going to slowly start to get to know each other, and more is going to be unveiled. And I just love that they both have confidence in themselves, even though they both have things that are detriment to their character according to society. And I love the way this is established. I do.
What I think is really cool though is that we really only have her inner monologue, which we don't even know what he's necessarily thinking. That's true. But based off her inner monologue, it's like he has presented himself in this manner in which it leads it leans into his name, but it also makes it seem as if they gel and glue really well.
Yes.
But then they also add more context with when they get to the camp, his characters and friends and his like group behind him, and how they're like, oh, he done found somebody that fits him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, thank you for the little bit of context, because and mind you, I was betrayed by the backstabbing anime before I watched this one.
Okay.
So I wasn't in the mood to trust any or anybody or anything. But that context did make me it made me feel as if, yes, this is where we're going. I'm sorry, I was so hurt by that. But
so.
But this is 100% one of those anime that, man, the title is a title. It does lean into what it is, but high key, with these characters, I might say the same thing. Pass me that monster meat. What monster is that? I might want some of that.
Exactly.
Because they make it, it's not like the monster meat that's to be passed isn't so much of the show as it is more just like context that moves this relationship forward.
Well said. Yeah.
It could be more involved in the future, but what we've gotten so far has just established these characters, and which establishment is always important in these first beginning episodes.
True. That
it really just gels us into this relationship with these characters and what it may be going for. And it was also another great episode.
Well said, Tel. Well said. Got one?
Where is it at? We have My Awkward Senpai.
Oh yeah, that one was endearing too.
It was, and I can see. Well, I imagine if you said endearing, you like some things about it.
Yeah.
First of all, the colors are crazy. By the way, they do this crazy contrast scenario. That go ahead.
Yeah, wonderful. And before we get into anything else, that's probably most likely going to be negative from the both of us. I will say I really fucking enjoy. I love when characters do outfit changes and they're just fly. Like the main female character, she's just fly, and I love when they incorporate the fact that the character outfit changes. That is important to me when it comes to these slice of life, especially adult romance slice of lives. But go ahead.
What? Why you say that?
Because for me personally,
it's like you knew I was about to say something negative. So before we get to that part,
because I think we're both on the same page when it comes to like, I just don't feel like it's much there yet.
Yeah, and I agree. So the outline is there.
It's adorable.
The big picture is there. Where is the micro, bro? Yeah. Where is the resources that we're trying to get the information? And I feel like, yeah, it's kind of there, but it's really not. Like these characters, they had moments of interactions that were cute, but I need more.
Yeah, it's her inner monologue that's adorable. It's again her outfits that are adorable to me. But it's no different than anything else that we got. But everything else we got, like just like this, has so much more context when it comes to like everything else. Like the even the shows that they have here, I Have a Crush at Work, that was more contextual and already so much better. The Ice Guy and his cool female colleagues, that was wonderful. Even My Tiny Senpai. These are all shows that are more contextualized when it comes to the characters' personalities. We just know that this girl have a hard time communicating because she just don't know how to. And it's virtually, that's it. And it's going to be just that for 13 episodes, 12 episodes. It's adorable. Easy to watch. So of course I'm going to continue to watch it, but I wasn't blown back in any stretch.
Yeah, I don't see that being, I don't, and maybe they will have an episode that's going to be a high quality watch at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, it feels like it didn't do itself the best service with what we got. You know what I mean? Like it has the potential, and hopefully it delivers at some point. Yep. But since we're already on that one, what do you think about Let's Play? So
Let's Play is based off of a comic from an American creator, actually. Is she American? Yeah. Yep. She's from Kansas City. Her name is Leanne. Shout out to Leanne. Cool that you got your comic animated. I will say that, by Japanese Animation Studio. So I want to give you your flowers for that. That's amazing. This one was blah as hell to me. It was, again, very predictable. In my personal opinion, I know artistically this is very personal. Didn't like it. I thought it was ugly to look at. And again, like I said, very, very, very predictable. It is so predictable that it hurts. But
artistically, it is 100% all over the place. None of these characters are drawn in the same art style. And I'm not gonna say none of them, but a lot of them have deviating or different art styles. Sure, yeah. Obviously, you got Link, Martial Law. You got other characters who are named after other like video game characters or concepts within video games. I think Easter eggs in anime and shows are cool.
They're so blatant that it's not an Easter egg.
Yeah, I really enjoy. Well, like they had a character who looked like Mario in the background. But I think that the show itself, like the Easter eggs and stuff, are cool, but they can only take you so far. And like what Polo said, this first episode of Polo was very blah. And while I enjoyed it, I can agree that, especially after watching everything else we watched with the slice of life and stuff like that, they didn't even give me enough romance in this to feel like I was locked in.
Yeah, it's just a female harem that's just going to be someone who don't understand their beauty, their inner beauty. That just it's all so fucking in your face that I'm so disinterested. You know?
Can I say something?
Sure, of course.
And I'm gonna say this because, like I said, this is one of the ones I watched earlier this week, and after watching all the other ones that are like slice of life and romance centric, part of the issue I have is with the fact that, and I don't want to say that this is the exact reason why, but could it be that this is an American derived show that it feels like it's not hitting as well? And it's like my Awkward Senpai, definitely same realm almost, so to speak, almost to a T. Right?
Yeah.
But I would say less of the awkwardness, but still didn't deliver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's still so much it didn't deliver. Like the dad scenario, it didn't establish the dad well enough. It established a little bit of the mom and dad relationship, but all of that just felt like a filler.
It's a cartoon.
Why?
It's a cartoon inspired by Japanese anime. Now, I will say this. If you don't watch anime at all, and you just turn this on, I think you would enjoy it. I think it's a unique enough story. If you don't watch anime, it's a unique enough story in the space of cartoons that you would enjoy it. But if you watch anime, then you've seen this 100 times. So it's kind of hard to enjoy, at least for me personally.
Yeah, but this feels like I said, a lot of the actual show just felt, like you said, like blah. Like it did feel out of place. And I can see that I was enthralled by
the gaming
just
aspect
the fact, the gaming aspect of it. I love that.
Yeah.
But that can only take you so far. So yeah, I was very, and some of my comments were made in
the middle
the
of
show
the
was
episode.
over.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? And then by the time the show is over, I'm like, okay, that happened. That was a thing.
It was fine. Yeah. I do the same thing. I did the same thing on quite a few shows here in the Discord, where you just talk, where you say a lot before it's done, and it's like, oh, whoops. But I'm not gonna,
Let me delete my comments.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want anybody to think I'm associated with this.
Absolutely. Moving on. One that actually surprised me. Shout out to All for One Mac, because you had this in your list, but I didn't. And that's Banished from the Court Magician aims to become the Banished Court Magician aims to become the strongest. Another one of those. Get kicked out of the party.
Back in blood.
Get back in blood. Yep. The one thing that absolutely shocked me about this, again, rehash story that we've been living all year, is the fact that, why the hell was this so gorgeous? What the fuck? Why would you put all this money and effort into this one when, mind you, this isn't anything spectacularly written story-wise? The studio, it doesn't even have anything of Protocol Rain, which is one of Tell Sleepers a while ago. This studio has next to nothing under its name, but they absolutely popped off with this one.
They had to establish that first episode.
Maybe it won't last.
I mean, I hope it does. Let's not shoot it.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I will say this, like, as far as the way it's written, again, very atypical, but usual revenge plot story. This one kind of pissed me off more, and I think it's the consistency on the particular show itself, because looking at it, it's rated lower, and I got a feeling everybody's going to say the same thing I did, and that's, why the fuck is he trying so hard to save this prince and he's a complete douchebag? Like, it was so much time spent on him fucking kowtowing to a prince who kicked him out, and instead of just fucking letting them get what they deserve, obviously like a normal person would do, or like we would do, he's trying extremely hard to give them this information on these floors, and here, this should help you survive, and blah 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 blah. It was just bland.
Two things. A lot of people might be more forgiving than this. And he wanted to change the court for his master, who got...
After his master told him not to.
Right. After his master told him not to, which is what I was like, come on, bro, you hard-headed.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
You know what they used to say, a hard head make a soft? Finish it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, why would you do that? Why? I agree with you. Why would you go and do that?
Yeah. Everything was like leaning towards not doing that.
And then but the thing is, at least you meet back up, but it's like you meet up with people who genuinely cared about you to begin with. And
from the look of it looked like you should have stayed there from the start.
It made no sense almost, bruh, to go this route.
This show's becoming worse and worse if we talk about it now. Because now that you say that, like, oh yeah, you got to level 68 of the dungeon, which is as deep as anybody's ever got to with this lasting period party, which is a terrible name, by the way. Lasting period party, and then that just sounds awful for a female, but you joined this last.
Did he do it with that party, or did he do it by himself?
No, he did it with the party. That party made it to level 68 because the girl mentioned it.
Because I thought they just said they was stuck at level 50 something without him.
No, the girl mentioned it in the past. She said, "Okay, this is the farthest anybody's ever went." And then he's like, "They're like, but like, why would he leave that to go be a court magician after his master tell him not to?"
Right.
And it's just, all of it is just, it seems stupid. I am going to continue to watch it, obviously,
because I got to see.
Yeah, and it wasn't a hard watch. It wasn't bad to watch, but again, like I said, I'm glad All for One Matt put it on the list for me because I didn't have it on mine. Because it definitely looked pretty. It definitely was worth it was eye candy for sure. But kind of a dumb story.
Very much so.
So far.
Want to talk about a dumb story?
Uh-oh.
And I know you're not gonna watch it.
Okay.
SI-VIS, The Sound of Heroes.
Oh yeah.
This is a musical anime. It wasn't musical all the time. It's a very pretty show. The characters aren't great. It's heavily relying, and I feel like this anime generally does this. This anime style generally will do this. It's so heavily reliant on the music and the animation that it tends to not make the characters great. Our MC is dancing around trying to be a musical idol, like J-pop style, and it was kind of corny.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, it was mad corny. I'm gonna give it 3 episodes.
You're nice.
It looks good though, and very predictable. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can see the ending of this episode coming from the front. It's crazy, but it very pretty. That's it.
Yeah. I thought is it still here? It should be on my list somewhere. There was one that I wanted to talk about. Did I already mark it off of my list already? That'd be crazy if I did.
That's crazy.
There was one that aired. I can't seem to find it. Very peculiar. Oh, here. Maybe if I put it over here on my big monitor here, did it like that, it'll show up. It's the one about the inexpressive. Oh yeah, here it is. The inexpressive Kashiwada and the expressive Ota. It's not for me. It's not for me. Yeah.
Oh, so that's a lot of it's.
It's very trying to be reminiscent of Ahiren-san. You know how much I love Ahiren-san. Ahiren-san was special, but this one isn't that. It doesn't have any of the charm that one had, where it was like this guy's overly thoughtful monologue was causing him to daydream these fun dreams. And Ahiren-san, no, this is just some screaming boy who is trying his best to get this inexpressive girl to show some expression. And then you could tell that he cares about her a little bit. And you could tell that she appreciates that he cares about her a little bit. And she starts to like him in this episode. And it's just not it. And this is already going to be one that I'm probably going to drop. I'm going to I'm going to give one more episode though, just to see, but it ain't it. This one ain't it. For sure.
What did you think about A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai?
This was the only other one that was cheap.
Yeah.
Was it good? No. Would I recommend it? No. Am I going to watch it? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, especially for a season that has so few things that I'm watching already, right? Like I'm looking at my list. My list is thin, even with the next 4 or 5 that are coming. It's thin. So I'm not mad at having this on the list, because it was an easy watch, even though it was like the same thing, cheesy, corny. But it's my kind of cheesy and corny, I guess. Is that what it is? I can deal with this cheesy and corny extremely well.
Yep.
So
same. Cool.
Turn it on. We're going to deal with it.
It's not good though at all. Like
no, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not going to recommend it to nobody.
Maybe
especially
it
not
becomes
after
good.
Seeing that. You said what?
So maybe it becomes good. I don't know, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, but even with that like kind of finish we got with the little dragon and stuff, I was like, come on, man, this is cool. But that leads me into one more. Yeah. Which I think I got a couple more that maybe you didn't watch.
I got a couple more too.
Digimon.
Okay.
Digital monsters.
Dude, the game is for one. I'm probably gonna talk about
Digimon are the champions.
I'm going to probably talk about it on our gaming podcast, but Digimon is popping off as far as that new game is concerned. I really want to get it.
heard. I downloaded it.
The demo or the full thing?
The demo. Is the full thing out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's popping off. 70,000 players on Steam, which is more than Persona, which is more than any other JRPG that's ever launched.
And I mean, this ain't the gaming podcast, but I can tell you a lot of those fans are Pokemon fans who are fed up with Pokemon. 100,000%. And we'll see how Pokemon responds to that by losing. But all right, anime. Digimon Beatbreak. Here's what I like about Digimon anime. And I don't want to continuously make the Pokemon comparison, but here's what I like about the Digimon anime is that when it does an anime, it actually just, I hate to say it feels more like an anime than a cartoon.
Yeah. They always done that too.
It feels more mature, even though it's very shonen-esque, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it does feel futuristic. Feels like something that is foreign from what we would normally get here. But the show immediately has this like dark undertone, even though it's like this cutesy situation that's happening with the Digimon and stuff like that. They do a great job of like the foretelling with how the Digimon immediately interacts with him. The only thing I don't like is how they overly make their MC what is it? How he sulks and kind of just sits in his emotions a little too much. But I'm actually very interested. I haven't watched Digimon since the Snoof. Was it Cyber Snoof? That was like 2 years ago, something like that. It was like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I watched a Digimon anime, but this is the first one I've watched in 2 years, so I'm excited about that.
Okay, nice. I'm glad one of us is bringing that to the conversation. I just got so much of what I like here. Like Yano-kuns The Ordinary Days. It's adorable. Another adorable one. Very easy to watch. Nothing stand out yet with this particular show. Hopefully the trope of him always getting hurt, you figure something else out with it, because it will get stale really fast if it continues to just do the same thing over and over again. And I can see that happening quickly. But other than that, it was a fine episode. Did you watch it?
I did not watch it, but if it's a slice of life, I might pick it up because, like I said, I got the time this season. Did you watch Dad is a Hero, Mama's a Spirit, I'm a Reincarnator?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now,
this is another one that could have been episode of the week for me.
Man, I have my thoughts, and it's specifically, what's her name? Asgale, the other. The one that was supposed to be his wife in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wanted her dealt and done with immediately. Yeah, when his spirit wife was causing a little ember fire tower. I was like, just burn her to a crisp now.
Yeah, there's two things I like about this already. One, the art design is beautiful. Two, I love the uniqueness of this story. This is an isekai, but it's an isekai that is different. It's unique. You got a spirit and you got a human half spirit who end up coming together and having a kid, and they give you all the backstory and the lore, and the way they do it is real smooth and extremely clean. Have a kid who came from Japan, reincarnated from being a former scientist, who is a half spirit, half human kid, and their relationship is already established. We don't normally get isekais where the mom and dad is so involved, and it seems like this is going to be ones where they're actually involved into Ellen or the main protagonist's story in a different way. And the way they're going to navigate building their house back up, I am intrigued to see, because it seems like it's going to be a fun one with the way it started from the jump. I like this one. I liked a lot this week for sure.
Yeah, this one had one of the better flows.
Yeah.
It felt like it was a short watch is what it felt like.
Yep.
And that was a good thing. It was like, man, I wanted
quick.
more. Not in a bad way. It was like it just happened so fast.
Absolutely.
Before I realized that my time was up. These characters it's their interactions immediately because their relationships are already established before we meet them, right? Yep. Their lore is established relatively quickly as well, and then the way that they dispersed that to us was adequate enough without being over encumbering. You know what I mean? It's not cumbersome the way they did it. So yeah, I 100% agree. This was one that I was like, man, this is a great watch. I can't wait for next week.
It really is.
I'm already here for this one too.
One you didn't watch that I watched is My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me. This one, because of the title, most people won't watch it again. But this is reminiscent of Can a Boy-Girl Relationship Survive? However, with a much more likable main character. Even though the main character in Can a Boy-Girl Relationship Survive was one of the best parts about it, he still made a dumb decision. But this one seems like this character is more in tuned, not really in tune with what she's doing, but is in tune with himself and his goals and his plans, and he has ideals that he's striving for, and he's put in very tough situations, and these tough situations lead to some very awkward moments, and I can't wait to see how it goes. But when I tell you again, this female character is just Iroha is just like the blue hair chick, which was named Himari in Can His Boy-Girl Relationship Survive. She's just like her. But again, I can watch it because it's not as intolerable as she was so far. Mm-hmm. And again, this character design is brilliant. Every female character design is gorgeous, and as far as like the design goes, I love it so much. So I'm definitely watching this one. This is more intriguing than probably 2 or 3 other shows that I have in my list.
Okay.
Sure.
You got anything else on your list, bro?
I know we said we was going to go into some more detail on May I Ask for One Final Thing, but we don't need to. It's great. Watch it. Hilarious. 100%. And watch the fucking dub. Y'all would die laughing at that dub. It's so funny.
I gotta add that dub to my list
instead of
watching the sub.
God, it's so good.
Yeah, I know it's funny. I know it's because I was laughing in Japanese. I don't even understand the language. I'm just reading. It was funny.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But that's it for my list.
That's it for mine.
Let This Grievance So Retire returned with a great episode. I just want to throw it out there with them kind of going over how
they met.
Yep, how Tino met Grieving Soul. And then now I thought that was so well done.
To set up the season,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
And then show us kind of like more interactions with the characters we haven't seen.
Yep. And then the Flagrant Flower Brooms with Dignity, episode 6 had me in tears a couple of times. Very great episode or show in general. Wanted to make sure I keep that in there because it is one that is technically completed, but it is on Netflix coming out week to week, and it's on episode 6 right now. So I want to point that out for people. And then I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Tell.
What's up?
How are you feeling about next week?
I'm excited. We only got a few more to add to the list. Well, so I have 4 more to add to the list. And then we also have the last episode of
Lord of Mysteries.
Lord of Mysteries, yeah. So next week's gonna be a good week still. We still got some, like, it's nice to have that new stuff. And I wanted to say, this is what I was thinking in the pre-show. I really love a new season. And what I love about a new season, not to kind of start a topic here, but what I love about having a new season is that you start off with less expectations, and you just have these new shows that you're just watching. It's like making new friends. You don't expect nothing from them yet. But when the season ends, because you watched it, you've been there for a while, it's like, oh, I got these expectations. I hope things end well.
Mm-hmm.
And then like all of them don't end well. Some of them end great. Some of them might end better than you thought.
Yep.
So you end up kind of like with these mixed feelings. At the beginning of the season, it's like, yep, hey, I don't know you, so I can let you go right now. But you're a good friend. I just met you, and I want you to stick around for a bit, and I hope you stay that way.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say I love new seasons. I always love doing this podcast when a new season starts, bro.
Me too. And I will say this. This is probably the start of this season has been so much better than even last season for me personally.
Yeah, I gotta say, I agree. Like more than 50% of these shows, like 60, 70% of these shows that we've listed, I'm actually kind of pleased with.
I'm way more excited for the stuff that I'm watching now than I was this. Not to say that it's going to be way better than last season, but this one is starting off with so much more of a bang, even though it's less shows. You know what I mean? Like, and it's probably because we don't have any fucking Gacha Kudas or Togenakis or anything like that. But these are more so my speed. This is more of my speed kind of season, if you will. And with that being said, I'm at Polo Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
Follow our social medias and subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MikeCheckWaifu, and our gaming podcast, youtube.com/@RespectGames. And as always, Mike check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?